Hey, my fallen ones, and welcome to another Shen Pe Uts Taa-Neter production. I am your hostess and storyteller, Shen Pe. Now, today I just want to go over again the Mayan calendar and the significance of it being the end of the Mayan calendar, actually, and we're being reset again. And I would also like to go into the 144,000 that's mentioned in the Bible and the 13th Zodiac that just suddenly appeared during the Galactic alignment of December 12th, 2012. But before I get started, I first would like to make the following disclaimer. You have the right to remain vacuous. Everything and anything you do not know can and will be used against you, most likely for profit. I am a storyteller, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so let me just go ahead and jump right into this. So I just want to explain here that each cycle is 26,000 years. It's each cycle of 26,000, sun cycle actually, of 26,000 years is a rebirth. Okay? We're regenerating our souls. It's a rebirth. It's like a reset, you know? And I underlined here because I want you to know that this comes from the etymology of it. Re is the way it's pronounced when we're using it in the feminine sense, okay? Re is the feminine side of Ra. And I know that you may be familiar with Ra in Kemetu cosmology. He is symbolized as the sun god, okay? So Re would be his counterpart. In Egyptian cosmology, there is always a divine feminine and a divine masculine. And it's not balanced. There is no such thing as balance, okay? They work in harmony together to maintain a certain function or a certain purpose, okay? And all you have to do, you don't even have to look in the cosmos. Just look within yourself, and you will see that all of your 300 trillion plus cells, they all work in harmony to maintain a homeostasis, as we say in medicine, right? And that's basically a harmony to keep your body functioning as an organism, as a whole. So everything in your body is doing different things. They're doing different things while working in unity. That's what unity means. It means everything is not doing the same thing. Everything is doing something different in order to maintain the whole. And it has to be in harmony. And once one of those things, one of the units, which is the root word of unity, once a unit, which is an individual, becomes disharmonious, that's when you'll have all kinds of problems, disease, everything. Okay. So that's what that means. Ra and Re are the divine masculine and the divine feminine, respectively. Okay? So I just want you to know that this is the feminine side of the sun god Ra, is Re. And I just wanted to point that out. Okay? Because I'm going to go into that later again. So each sun cycle is 26,000 years, and it alternates between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Each 26,000 years will either be 26,000 years of the divine masculine or 26,000 years of the divine feminine. We just left on Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. We just left the last day of the 26,000 year sun cycle of the divine masculine. And now we are in the 26,000 sun cycle of the divine feminine. Now, 12 cycles of these 26,000 years equals one full galactic cycle, meaning that we made a complete 360-degree turn, okay, in the galaxy. All right? Because everything is always moving, and it's moving clockwise, all right? So this pretty much explains the cosmic patterns and cycles of catastrophe. This happens all the time. It's happened before, and it's happening again, and it will continue to happen for as long as our galaxy exists. Now, I don't know how long that might be, but I'm just saying. So December 21st, 2012 was the transition between the fifth son of light, which is representative of the divine masculine. The fifth son of light was the divine masculine, okay? And that symbolizes the use of the left brain, rationality, and material hoarding. And the sixth son of darkness, which is now, and it is the divine feminine. And it represents the right brain, the dream world, and the realms of the psyche. Okay, the galactic alignment of December 21st, 2012 was symbolic of this transition. So December 21st, 2012, when we had that galactic alignment, it was symbolic of the transition from the fifth son of light to the sixth son of darkness. Okay? And this transition continued until just past Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. So now we are fully in the age of the sixth sun. Here's the calendar. I love this. This reminds me, here with the tongue sticking out, it reminds me of the ancient Indian god, Kali Ma. And whenever she is in her destruction and death mode, she has her tongue hanging out. That's exactly what that represents. When that tongue is out, it means death and destruction. So the fifth son of light is a 26,000 year count. We just left the fifth son of light officially on Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. This represents the divine masculine chi, which is, this is how it looks: chi, ki, energy. Energy is energy coming from within, okay? But it's all energy, okay? And I just wanted to write that out so you would see how it looks, you know? It looks different, but it's all the same, okay? So, and then I also wanted to point this out because ki and ki, this is how some people pronounce it. It's the N word of Anunnaki, okay, or what they call the suffix, right? The suffix of the noun or pronoun Anunnaki, okay. So I just want you to keep that in mind because I'm gonna come back to that later, okay, and what that means, okay. So now we have the sixth son of darkness, which is the 26-year count of the divine feminine energy, or chi. Chi, energy, and energy, okay? Energy is like energy coming from within you, the energy that's in you is the energy, okay? And that's important also. That's very important. Because this is pretty much the word emotion. Emotion, the E in emotion is nothing but energy in motion. Okay? So you should never be afraid of that, and you need to get in touch with that. You get in touch with that, okay? It's energy in motion. That's what emotion is. That's all it is, okay? Energy in motion. That's what it is. Okay, so now we are fully in the sixth sun of darkness. And I'm going to come back to emotion. I'm going to come back to that too. We are fully in the sixth sun of darkness, the 26,000 year solar sun cycle. Okay, so now to the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar that was based on, what everybody wrote books about, the end of the world, December 12th, 2012, or whatever date they gave. It was based on the long count calendar. Now, the long count Mayan calendar is based on the short count. So they take multiple short counts to make up the long count, which gave us a count of about 300,000 years, a full galactic cycle. It gave us the count of the full galactic cycle, okay? So I just want to break this down because I wrote it down so you could see it. So the short count is 20 cartoons, right? And I also highlighted and underlined this because in the last video I said that this also, Ka, is an Egyptian word for spirit. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe tune means cycle, okay? But you can always search that. Don't take my word on that. But Ka definitely means spirit in the Kemetu language, okay? So the short count calendar is equal to 20 cartoons, okay? And one cartoon is equal to 7,200 days or 19.7 years, okay? Now, it takes 20 cartoons or 20 cycles to equal one Baktoon, okay? So it takes 20 times 19.71 years to equal one Baktoon, okay? And Ba in the Kemetu language means soul, okay? The spirit and the soul is connected. Now, it's possible to be born without a soul and only to have a spirit, but that's for another video. Right now, I just want you to know that the Ka and the Ba are two important things, and they work in harmony together, okay? For the soul. It's almost like an aspect of the soul, okay? So now we have one Baktoon. And remember, 20 cartoons of the short calendar, which is 19 years times 20 cycles, is one Baktoon, okay? One Baktoon is equal to 144,000 days or 400 years, okay? That's one Baktoon, okay? So I underlined and highlighted this because this has something to do with the 144,000 that the Bible makes reference to. Okay. So just keep that in mind because I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to that. So one Baktoon equals 144,000 days or 400 years. Now, it takes 13 cycles, okay? I also underline this for a reason. It takes 13 cycles, or 13 times 400 years, to equal 5,200 years, okay? Okay. So, it takes, and at the end of this cycle is when the 13th Zodiac appears, okay? This recently caused a hoopla sometime around 2011 when they was like where did this come from? It's always been there. It's a constellation, just like the other zodiacs or constellations, but we can see it at the end of the 13 cycles, okay? And we can see it at the end of the 13 cycles, okay? So it only comes once after the 13th cycle, okay, of this calendar. Okay, so let me go to, okay, I'm sorry. I had to get my tea. No coffee for me. It's kind of late right now, so I'm drinking chamomile. So, okay, let me go back to the 144,000 first, okay? So after one Baktun is complete, I know it says in the Bible that like there'll be like a chosen, it'll be like a chosen 144,000 dudes, who has not been, I think the last time I read it, because it kind of like changed, during Inanna's Knot, or what as the Mandela effect. The last time I read it, it says something about men who have not been defiled by women, and they will be going, to meet their maker in the kingdom, or something to that effect. And that it will be the 12 tribes. I believe it said the 12 tribes, the 12 Hebrew tribes. It will be 12,000 from each tribe that will make up 144,000 of guys that are just going, to meet their maker. Okay. Okay. I don't know where that story came from, but the soul meaning to this, which is, a deeper meaning, the soul meaning to this is after every count of a Baktun, one count, after 400 years, okay, this number represents the number of people of the 12 zodiacs, okay, because the 13th zodiac didn't appear yet, right? So, because it's only one Baktun. We need 13 Baktuns to make a full 26,000 year count, right? For the 13th zodiac to show up. So what this just means is that, because it was interesting that they used 12 tribes of the Hebrews and 12,000 of each 12 tribes, right? What this means is that there will be 144,000 souls that are represented by the zodiac, okay? Whatever zodiac that person was born into, whatever constellation, position of the stars, the moon, the planet, if they came as a Gemini, if they came as a Capricorn, anything, that represents the 12 zodiacs. It will be 12,000 from each zodiac that gets to go and leave this place. They get to leave this, where we're at here in the third dimension on Earth. They get to leave. And when I say they get to leave, that means that they don't have to come back recycled, what some people might call reincarnation. Because the purpose of us being here is to learn lessons and and have experiences, right? And to also pay debt to whatever karma it is that we may have that will have us, stuck here. Okay. So, and it's to evolve. We're pretty much here to evolve. The people, the 144,000 chosen people from the 12 zodiacs, 12,000 of each of the zodiac people born in these zodiacs, those people had completed their karma contract, they completed their lessons, and they have evolved. They have evolved, meaning that they have evolved to a higher plane in the mind where, they've completed everything. They completed all of their soul lessons. Their soul have an imprint of everything. It's like it has an imprint of everything, of what they're here to do, what they're here to learn, their experiences, you know. And those people, the 144,000 people, have ascended because they have completed their contract and evolved. Most importantly, they have evolved. If you look at it, I want you, because humans are a part of the animal kingdom. Okay. I know they don't like to think that they are, but yeah, they are members of the animal kingdom. Okay. Now, humans are supposed to be, you know, on a level above the other animals, but I think maybe you should watch like Animal Planet or something like that. That used to be our favorite show. Like, I didn't really raise my sons up to watch TV. We just we watched certain things, and I made sure that I watched it with them, because there's always a lesson. But Animal Planet was definitely one of our favorite shows, and I suggest that you look at it to see how the animals in the animal kingdom have evolved. Okay? They have evolved. All right? And I'm just going to leave that at that. We're supposed to be evolving. It has everything to do with our spirit, our soul, our pineal gland. We're supposed to evolve. We're not supposed to be stuck in our root chakra. We're supposed to ascend that. Okay? We're supposed to ascend the crown chakra. Okay? And the 144,000 people of the 12 zodiacs, 12,000 of each, I don't want to use the word luck, but, they had to come here a whole lot of times, in order to ascend, basically. They get to leave. They don't have to, their souls don't get recycled back here where we're at in the third dimension. They actually get to leave, and they get to choose where they want to go. They can go anywhere in the stars that their hearts desire to have a whole totally different other experience. Or for reasons I can't even comprehend, some of them will choose to come back here. Some of them will actually choose to come back here. And at that point, they're not choosing to come back here to learn their lessons or anything like that. They're here to help other people evolve, to the best way that they can. That's what they come back here for. I don't know why anybody would want to do that, but, it is what it is. Okay. Some people get to go wherever they want. They can go to their constellation. They can go to a different galaxy, anywhere. They can choose to go anywhere they want to go for a whole nother experience, or they can choose to go to the original star that they came from, because we're all from different stars. they could go back to the original star, that they came from, and just have a breather, just have a long placation, okay? So that's what that 144,000 symbolizes. It symbolizes the ascended souls, and it's not necessarily male or female. It's both. Whoever has came here and done what the heck they were supposed to do, which is evolve. Not staying stuck in your root chakra with all of the material, lust, ego, all of that crap, all of that crap. Like the person that let that go, and had to come back here, have their souls recycled in the Mayan calendar over and over and over again for 300,000 years. Some of them don't even get to recycle, but I'm gonna get into that later. But that's what that means. That means because you're coming here to have an experience, okay? And whether you're a male or a female, it doesn't matter. And fee means first. Fee means first male. So, hey, it doesn't matter. Whether you come back as the first male or you come back as the male, as long as you've completed your contract and you've evolved, which is the contract. You evolve, you get to go wherever you want to go. And these people are chosen at the end of the one Baktun, at the end of 400 years. So every 400 years, there's 144 people that have ascended. Beings, rather. I'm going to use the word beings. There's 144,000 beings that were able to ascend and either go back to their star system or go back to wherever they go, wherever they want to go. And some of them even choose to come back here. Okay? So that's what that 144,000 is. Now, okay. So now, it takes 13 Baktuns, or 13 cycles, to equal 5,200 years. Okay? So at the end of this cycle is when the 13th Zodiac appears. And that recently caused a hoopla in 2011. So now, oh, I'm sorry. One moment. I'm sorry. That was my son calling me. I didn't understand a word he said. They are like brilliant when it comes to technology. Like my youngest, he builds computers. He built a computer for me and for his older brother. He puts computers together. He designs and builds and programs robots in his sleep. Oh my goodness. And so anytime I have any technical issue, I'm like, well, we're getting together tomorrow for Christmas dinner. That's why they called me, and I have a technical issue. They're my go-to people, And anytime they try to explain anything to me, it's like they're speaking another language. I don't understand a word they say. I'm like, you know what? When I see you tomorrow, you'll have to show me because I don't know what you're talking about. You sound like an alien, a foreigner to me. I don't know. Like, yeah. But anyway, where I was at. Okay. So the 13 Baktuns is 5,200 years. So every 5,200 years, the 13th Zodiac will show up. So it appeared in December 2021. I'm sorry, December 21, 2012. It appeared because that was the end. Actually, it was the end of the 13th cycle of 5,200 years. It was also, it represented two things. It represented the transition to the new 26,000 year cycle, but it was also the 13th cycle of 520 years in this count. Okay. So the 13th zodiac is, how do you say this? Ophiuchus or Ophiuchus. Okay. And Ophiuchus is a large constellation, and it's depicted in the Greek myth as straddling the celestial equator. And yeah, I'm sorry. It's from the Greek word, and it means serpent bearer. Okay, and it's usually a man that's represented as holding a snake. Okay, and this constellation is like, it straddles the celestial equator. Okay, the celestial equator of all of the zodiacs. So it's like in the middle. And depending on the position of our planets at the end of the 13th cycle of the 5,200 year count, the position of the planet allow us to see this in the sky. Okay? Okay. This is Ophiuchus right here. These are the other 12 zodiacs that you're familiar with. Okay? There it is. There it is. My oldest son is a Gemini, and the youngest is a Virgo. So, okay. And I don't even think they're from here either. Oh my goodness. I think they came back here to help other people evolve. I remember when my youngest was in the 5th grade, and he was a part of the New York Science, what was it? The New York Science Academy or something like that. Something like that. I don't know, but it was really cool because they taught the children like um, uh, pilot simulations, with an aircraft going into space, and they had to land and had a crew and everything. It was just so cool. And they also built robots and things like that. But they actually invited him to come back in his 6th grade year to teach the younger students. And I thought that was really cool. And I remember one day he came home. He told me, he said, Ma, I can't do anything with these children because they've already been corrupted by their parents. And the only thing I could think of was, I'm glad I didn't have to tell him that. Yeah, but it was just truth. I learned a lot from them. They're like some old souls. Excuse me, sorry. So, the serpent or the snake is symbolic of the divine feminine. And I will follow up with the video on the spirit and energy of the Naginis, who are the serpent. I should have put beings, but they're the serpent beings. Okay? The Naginis. And I think you will see them throughout all cultures, all over the world, especially in India, in ancient India. Okay? So now it takes 13 Baktuns, or 5,200 years. What I have? Oh, right. 13 Baktuns. One cycle of 13 Baktuns, 5,200 years, will complete 1/5 of the 26,000 year soul cycle. Okay? Soul is solar. It also means sun. Okay? So we have 5,200 years, which is 13 baktuns. Remember, one baktun is equal to 144,000 days, which is 400 years, which these 144,000 people can leave. They're free. Their souls are free from this earth. Okay? 13 baktuns is 5,200 years. Every 5,200 years, the 13th Zodiac reappears. Okay? Reappears. There go that word again. Re or ray. Reappears. Okay? That's the divine feminine. Okay? So she reappears. Okay? Now, we're in the long count calendar, by the way. The long count calendar is the Baktun. Okay? So now we have 13 Baktuns, right? Every 5,200 years, the 13th Zodiac reappears. Okay? And 13 or 5,200 years of this cycle, 13, is the first one will complete 1/5 of the 26,000 year cycle. Okay? 1/5, only 1/5. It takes 5 cycles of 13 Baktuns to equal 26,000 years. Okay? A full solar sun cycle. Okay? And this is the end of the great Mayan calendar, the 26,000 years. All right? That's the end of the great Mayan calendar. Then it resets to 0 again to do the other count. Okay? And like I said, each 26,000 years, you will either have the divine masculine energy or the divine feminine energy. So it will recount and start back to 0 and go to the next energy. Whether the next, after this 26,000 years, it'll go back to the masculine energy, divine masculine. Okay? So this would be the end of the Mayan calendar. Now, it takes 12 cycles, 12 of these 26,000 year calendar cycles to complete 312 years, 312,000 years, a full galactic cycle. Okay? 12 cycles are the 12 zodiacs that you're familiar with. Okay? That's why I underlined that. That's important. 12 cycles to complete a full galactic cycle, meaning we made a full, complete circle in the galaxy. Everything is spinning. Everything is turning. Our galaxy is turning. Okay? Okay. So I hope that cleared it up a little bit more for you. Okay. So now the Ka in ancient Kemetu-centric cosmology, Ka with the Ba and the Ankh is and remember I showed y'all the Ankh before. It's I think I showed y'all that in the last video. It's representative of life. Okay, it symbolizes life, the womb, the birth canal, and the ecliptic, the sun going in the path of the cosmic womb. Okay. And it's a principal aspect of the soul of a human being or a God, life force, or spirit. Okay? So it's just a part of the soul. You have the ka, the ba, and the soul and the ankh. So that's just a part of the soul. The ancient Kemetu believed the ka, along with the physical body, the name, the ba, and the shadow, made up the 5 aspects of a person. Okay? So let me see if I can break this down a little bit simpler. There's 5 aspects of the whole human being, right? Besides our organic machine, which is our organisms, our organs, and all of that is just part to make up a full organic machine, right? This is the ba, the shadow, the ka, and our physical body, the spirit, which is the ka, the physical body, the name, the ba, and the shadow makes up the person. So our physical body is an organic machine. The ka is the spirit that animates us, right? The ba is the soul. The name is important because it's important. If you notice in a lot of cultures that they would like go through a naming ceremony, depending on the position of the stars, the planets, they would name a new child that came into the world. My dad, who actually named us, it was him who told me that it's important what you name your children because that name it attaches to them, and they pretty much have to it has to they have to like represent that name. They have to represent that name. Their whole being, rather, their whole essence have to represent that name. So the name that he gave me, um, the name that my dad gave me is Tabetha, and that actually means a gazelle. It was actually in the Bible. I think in the Bible it's called Dorcas, but the name is Hebrew, and it means gazelle, which is a small brown deer with big eyes found in Africa. So yeah, that's the name that he gave me, right? And the names that yeah, so it's like the name that's chosen for the child, it has to fit that child. And it's like they take on the persona of that name, right? The personality of that name, the persona of that name. So anybody who walks around here with like my pen name, Shen Pe, I'm not really going to tell you what that means. You can look it up, but I pretty much represent that. It's like my persona, you know? So, it's like the names are like borrowed. So you can't take a name and name yourself a name or name your child a name and not live up to that name. It's because the names are borrowed from our ancestors. They're all recycled. I'm sure that 400 years ago there was or 5,200 years ago there was a Tabetha walking around here. I mean, obviously the name is in the Bible. Dorcas. you know so I mean, our names are borrowed, so you have to be careful of what you name the child, or even the name that you might want to give yourself and change your name to. Because if you disrespect a borrowed name and don't live up to it, a whole lot of um a whole lot of destruction will end up in your life, right? Like a lot of these Hotep Christians out here that might want to call themselves whatever Hotep Christian name that they choose to call themselves, they're naming themselves after gods of a cultural cosmology, and they're naming themselves these names and they're not living up to it, which is why you'll see, if you just observe, you'll see a whole lot of them all fucked up, okay? Just to put it in layman's terms, all right? So moving right along, the ka is the spirit, okay? It's the spirit or the life force. I want you to remember this, because I'm going to go back to the life force. It's the life force. It's the spirit. The spirit is the spirit is what gives it movement, animation, makes it aware. That's the spirit, okay? The life force, okay? The ba means the soul in ancient Kemetu-centric mythology, okay? And it's symbolized by a bird with a human head on it. And it's represented as a human-headed bird that leaves the body when a person dies. The face of the ba is in the exact likeness of that deceased person, okay? And we have the wings because if this person that's deceased here, if this person here that's deceased gets to leave, that's what this represents. They're one of the 44, one of the 144,000. They get to fly away, free as a bird. Free as a bird. Unless they choose to be recycled and come back here, you know. So, speaking of death, I just wanted to bring up Amit. And her titles are the Eater, the Devourer of the Dead, Eater of Hearts, Bone Eater, Devourer of Millions, and Greatness of Death. And if I had a choice, I would have her as a pet, right next to my little kitty cat, okay? Right next to my cat. I have a Persian cat, and I would love to have Amit as a pet. She's also known as Amit, Amut, and Amet. And the Kemetu believed that after you died, your soul, or one of them, if you were lucky to even have one, entered a divine hall of judgment, where your past deeds were examined and your heart was weighed. If you were found worthy, you entered the Western paradise. If you fell, or a mentor. If you failed the test, Amit ate you, and your life was forever terminated. No eternal paradise for you. Okay? Amit sits beneath the scales of justice like a dog waiting for food to fall from the table. That's Amit. I love her. Although usually depicted with the crocodile head, sometimes Amit sports a canine head. Those whom the infernal courts find lacking are promptly fed to Amit. She is a neutral spirit. She does her job, eating, processing, and eliminating wickedness, or just a lack of goodness from the universe. She bears no grudge against anyone. She just wants to eat. There is no point in petitioning her or attempting to make deals, but the Kemetu Book of the Dead does contain spells that protect against her. I doubt very much if that'll work, though. Like if it's it. It's just is what it is. If the universe does not recycle you and you don't get eternal, everlasting life, then you're sent to nothingness. Nothingness. Like, you don't get to go to another constellation. You don't get to come back here. You're just done. You're over. You don't have a soul. Without a soul, you don't have anything. You can't exist, you know, whether it's in the ethers or on the physical. You can't exist without that. Now, there are some people that are born without souls, but that's another video. That's another video. So, manifestation. She bears a striking physical resemblance to Tawaret. Animals are hippopotamus and crocodile. And here she is again, waiting to grab somebody's heart. Now, I want to go back to the 144,000. So, you know, after one Baktum, these people get to leave, right? They get to leave and never come back if they don't choose to. Now, everybody else is recycled. You're recycled. You're coming back after that 5,200 year count. You're coming back here to get whatever lessons you didn't learn the last 5,200 years. You're coming back to learn you're coming back to do what you're supposed to do. You get recycled into this calendar. You get recycled into the 26,000 year solar cycle. You get recycled. You get recycled until you figure out how to ascend, how to evolve. And the easiest way I can say of how to evolve is the most easiest way I can put it is just do the right thing. I know that doing the right thing is really a hard thing to do for a lot of people, especially for a lot of people that are, in their root chakra, which I like to call the shit chakra, because, it sits right there at the ass. Okay. Excuse the expression, but it is what it is. So, a lot of people will find doing the right thing is a hard thing to do. It's like literally, it's so easy to do the wrong thing. It is so easy to do the wrong thing. Like, I could sit up here and live my life every day, and it's like the Matrix just makes it easy for me to do the wrong thing. It's just so easy. I don't have to make an effort. I don't have to work to do the wrong thing. I don't. And neither does anybody else. Because this matrix makes it easy to do that. Very easy. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to struggle to do the wrong thing. You don't have to make an effort to do the wrong thing. None of that. You just do the wrong thing. It's right there in front of your face. It's there for you. But doing the right thing, that's hard, because you have to make an effort. You have to work towards that. You have to put in the work. Like I tell my sons all the time, you have to put in the work. There's no excuse for you. There is no excuse. Okay. There's no getting out of that. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work to do the right thing. Whatever circumstance or the situation is. Because it's more of a situation than situations, okay? Whatever that situation is, you have to put in the work to do the right thing. And that is, that's a way that you can evolve and elevate yourself, And putting in the work to do the right thing, when you're putting in the work, you're actually learning something tangible that the soul, that's imprinted on the soul. Okay. I'm not sure if I can really explain that. I would need like 10 miles to be able to do that. But is imprinted on the soul. That the work that you're doing, the literal, tangible work that you're putting forth to do the right thing is what is imprinted on that soul. Okay? So the 144,000 don't have to come back in this calendar. All right? It doesn't have to come back in this calendar. Everybody else, they get recycled. They get recycled every 13th every 13th Baktun, or every 13th cycle of the Baktun. Okay? So, and every 26,000 year cycle, this calendar is done and it's reset. That's why you got the tongue hanging out here in the middle. Okay? And the 6 points, or I'm sorry, the 8 points, that's the star of our mother, our progenitor. Her star is 8 points. And I'm going to do that in another video. Okay? So now I want to get back to, that's the Anunnaki, the life force. Let me get back to the life force. Okay? So I'm just using this as an example. Okay? I spoke about Re and being the feminine aspect of Ra. Okay? So, and how we have regenerate, rebirth, reappear, you know, the 13th Zodiac reappears. That's a feminine aspect. Okay? So Amun or Amen, that's the same, and Amunet. These are gods in the Kemetu cosmology, and I'm bringing this up for a reason, because Amun or Amen, what you say at the end of the prayer, is, well, they're both the hidden, right? You can't see either one of them. They're both hidden. Amun was first, and then came, I'm sorry, Amunet was first, and then came Amen. Okay? They were both hidden. And I'm gonna do a whole nother video on them too. Because they're the first. They were the first. So Amunet and Amun are both hidden. Okay? But the thing is that they work together, like your left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. They work together in harmony. Okay? Amunet is the feminine version. Amun is the divine masculine version. Okay? Amun or Amen, the divine masculinity, is the hidden and unseen force of the spirit. Okay? The hidden or unseen force of the spirit. The physical force, animation, when you pray, you say Amen at the end to put the force physical in the words, prayer, and hopes to manifest whatever you are praying. Okay? So Amunet is the divine feminine, and she is the hidden and unseen spirit. She's the hidden spirit, the divine feminine. She's the metaphysical, the quantum physical. Amun is the force behind her spirit. So she's the spirit, but he's the force behind that spirit. For example, the wind. You can't see the wind. You can't see it. It's invisible. It's hidden. It's unseen, right? That's the divine feminine. But when that wind starts to blow your ass across the street, you know, with its strength, that's the force. That's the life force. That's the force. The life force. Okay? That's the force of the unseen spirit. Okay? So what you're experiencing is both the divine masculine and the divine feminine at the same time. Okay? When that wind, you know that wind is out there, that wind is blowing, but you can't see it, but you can feel it. When it smacks you in your face or kick you in your butt, make you fall down with your umbrella and all of that stuff, that's the divine masculine. That's the force. That's the life force. That's the life force of the unseen spirit. Okay? So they work in harmony. And it's a duality. It's the divine feminine and the divine masculine. There is without the divine feminine, the divine masculine is inert. Okay? There is no divine masculine without the divine feminine. All right? It's like they say in the Hindu cosmology, without Kali Ma, Shiva is inert. Okay? Shiva gets his power from Kali Ma. Okay? She needs to be there in order for Shiva to even, be able to do the things that he do. He's the divine masculine. He is the life force. Men are physical. Men are physical beings. Okay? So Shiva is the force, the physical being of the divine feminine, Kali Ma. Okay? So I hope that explained a little bit. I'll do something else just to go over that again, because I know it's a lot of information. So our men and the moon work together in harmony, not balance. Okay? There's no such thing as balance. Okay? They work in accord with one another. Accord, I'm an artist in terms of music. This is this sound accord. It for me is musical. Is harmonic. And that's another thing. There is no translation for the word in the Kemetu language, right? Right. So if you were living in Kemet, you wouldn't say, what's the word for this? You would say, what's the sound or the vibration for this? What's the sound or the vibration for this? Whatever it is that you need to know what it is, right? There's no translation for word. And that's another thing I'm going to get into, because words are like spells. That's why we have spelling. Words can manifest or will manifest. Now that we're in a divine feminine, words will manifest spells. Okay? Grammar is taken from the grimoire. Okay? So we have spells, spelling, and grammar, grimoire. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go into that another day, but it is what it is. So that's all for today. And I hope you learned anything. If you have any questions, I leave my contact information in the description box. You can send me an email or you can send me a text. Okay. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with some more. Right. So I'll come back with another video. In the meantime, like, subscribe. And if you have any questions, my contact information is in the description box. And I'll come back again to review this and then build upon this again in case I missed anything. And see you soon, and happy holidays. Later.